Well, this is a fascinating story that Errol and I have been discussing all morning. New data shows that nearly 1 in 5 stay-at-home parents are dads.
Are you surprised? Do you expect that result? Well, Pew Research survey analysis says in 2021, 18% of at-home parents were fathers, which is up 11%
From back in
since 1989. Meanwhile, the overall rate of parents who don't work has been steady. In 1989, 17% of parents didn't work, while in 2021, that was 18%.
So fascinating how it hasn't changed how many parents are staying at home, but the division of labor has changed.
More.
Well, joining us now is Kim Parker. She is the Director of Social Trends Research at the Pew Research Center. Good to have you with us, Kim. So this gap between stay-at-home moms and dads is closing, but let's be clear, it's still the vast majority of stay-at-home parents are women. Each group cites different reasons, though, for staying at home. Talk to us about those differences.
Yes, they definitely do cite different reasons. So the vast majority of moms that stay at home, and just to get definitions straight, stay at home, the way that we define it, is parents who said that they're not working for pay right now. So they're basically parents who are not employed. So most moms who are not employed say that they're at home primarily to care for the home and the family. 79% of moms say that. A much smaller share of dads who are home say that. They give more of a variety of reasons for being at home, but the share who do say that they're home to care for their family or to take care of the home has gone up a lot over the last several decades. And it's about 1 in 4 today, up from only 4% 30 years ago. So that is become more of a reason for dads to be home, but many of them also cite inability to find a job or disability, some other reasons that are not as common with stay-at-home moms.
Yeah, it sounds as if life circumstances are forcing some of the men to have to stay at home and not work, because your study reveals the stay-at-home dads are more likely to be in poverty than those who work. I'm wondering, how big is that gap? And on a graphic we just showed, it found that the men are doing so because they are either ill or disabled. So what's happening there?
Yeah, so as I said, a significant chunk of the dads who are home because they're ill or disabled, but the share who are home to care specifically for their families has gone up a lot. So that, I think, is really notable. But it kind of makes sense that these households with stay-at-home dads would be more likely to be living in poverty than households with working dads, because you're going to have at most one earner in that household. And we know in households where the wife is the sole breadwinner, those households have lower income overall than households where the husband or the dad is the sole breadwinner. So women overall still earn less than men do. We know there's a persistent gender gap, and that's particularly the case with parents.
There's a lot to unpack in that. I'm just wondering, as you're talking about stay at home and the specifics of that, where are trends heading? And maybe do we need to change even our terminology? Because I'm wondering if remote work is allowing more parents to physically stay at home while still having employment.
Yeah, it's interesting that came up as we were working on this piece, because we thought we probably shouldn't talk about these as at-home parents, because a lot of parents are working from home now, so the definitions are getting a little bit muddled. But in terms of where the trends are heading, this has changed very gradually, so I don't expect to see any significant spikes or changes in the near future. We know that this tends to ebb and flow with broader economic forces. So when unemployment is high, you're going to have more moms and dads who are not working for pay, obviously, and then they would be categorized as at-home parents. So we do see these sort of mild fluctuations along with economic conditions. But when you take a broader historical sweep, you do see this, kind of gradual rise in dads that are at home and a gradual decline in moms that are at home. So I would expect in the future that it might go that way, but I would also expect to see these, ebbs and flows along with broader economic conditions.
Yeah, Kim Parker, it's all really eye-opening stuff. Thanks for enlightening us, and more power to parents everywhere.
Absolutely.
We enjoy what you do. Thank you very much.
Thanks.